Why you should be considering platforms like TikTok, as well as other ones similar to it, such as Instagram Reels, for your business. So that way you can really use the video forms that we're going to talk about here in your marketing efforts and stay on trend. So today, welcome everyone to the show. We are so excited to have you. It's a Monday, so we're rolling with it. If you've never been here before, this is a weekly live show where Amanda and I, Amanda, say hello.
Hello, greetings.
Amanda and I are your hosts. We try to keep this light, fun, and super short, about 30 minutes. And today's topic is all about paying attention to platforms like TikTok. Now, whether you're an Instagrammer, or Facebooker, YouTuber, whatever, it doesn't matter. You still want to make sure that you're paying attention to what's going on around you, because these are the things that are going to help you take your marketing efforts to that next level. So go ahead, share, even if you're in the replay here, share a little bit about you and who you are. And real quick, Amanda, let us know what your background is, what you do for clients.
Yeah, so my lane dabbles in the client nurture lane. So really, we help agents solidify their nurture base, so past clients, sphere of influence, and really design strategies so that they can keep those clients for life. So not just one transaction, and not just here and there, but we really try to love on them in the in between, so that agents can focus on the business that's closing now, because there's enough to do in that. So we help kind of take off that nurture side off their plate, so that when the people are ready, they think of the agent.
Yes, and the keyword there, keywords were when they're ready, which we're going to talk about that because we are going to be talking about luxury real estate today and how TikTok is taking off for luxury real estate, and it's probably not what you're all thinking. So stick around for that. Real quick, my background is marketing, so I am a video coach, and I help agents as well as fellow service-based entrepreneurs use video, short form or long form, in their marketing efforts, helping them really embrace the tech like you're seeing here if you're watching us live, and be able to use that to help increase their visibility and really connect with their audience on a different level. So that way they can be that go-to resource, and then they can use services like Amanda's to be able to continue to nurture that relationship over time. Because what we both do and what you should be considering in your marketing efforts is a long-term plan. It's not just this, I posted once and I got no business from it. I got no likes, I got no love, I got nothing. That's not what it's about. It's about that
Totally.
long-term game.
Well, in the consistency game too. I mean, the name of this real estate game is consistency. Whether we're talking lead generation, whether we're talking marketing, or even just staying in the business, like, it is a consistency game. And those that show up consistent in whatever they're doing are the ones that tend to win the game.
Yeah. And so today, let's talk about this staying on trend and paying attention to platforms like TikTok. Over the weekend, I was reading this article, Amanda, and it was all about luxury real estate, which I thought was fascinating because I think a lot of people, well, I know a lot of people I talk to with my clients and prospects, is that a lot of people think that when it comes to video, it has to be highly produced and take a ton of time to make it perfect.
Especially with luxury.
Yeah, exactly. And that's why I loved this article, because it was talking about luxury real estate. And when we think luxury, anything, we always think it has to be perfect,
Totally.
especially when it comes to real estate, right?
Oh, totally. Like, there's even photographers and videographers who market specifically to luxury listings. Like, I am a luxury videographer. I'm a luxury, just letting you know that it's going to have that added professional touch if they're video marketing. So interesting.
Yeah. And so in this article, they were talking about how it's essential for luxury real estate agents to pay attention to TikTok and to start embracing it. And whether you're a TikToker or an Instagrammer, we'll stick to those two platforms for this episode. But it doesn't matter, because we all know that the video is going to flow from one to the other. You're either going to start on TikTok and share it over to Instagram, which By the way, stay tuned to the end and I'll share a little tip to help you with that sharing and not getting in trouble on Instagram. That was a lean in hooker right there
I know.
for you.
I was like, here it is, starting it out early.
Yes, yes. But whether you're an Instagrammer or a TikToker, pay attention because it's really important for you to stay on top of what's happening and why it's happening. This also is not about your feelings. Just going to say that. And what I mean by that is, a lot of people, I'm going to use the Facebook example. A lot of people have whatever feelings about Facebook. I don't care. You like it, you love it, you hate it, doesn't matter. But when you put on your business hat, you have to at least understand that it's still part of the business.
Oh,
It should be. And it's still a really great revenue generator for your business if you are paying attention to it, because it's still number one and it owns Instagram. So you have to pay attention to that stuff.
Well, and I think you bring up a good point about feelings. I think so often anyone really, especially agents, but anyone really posting on their Facebook, they'll post and then they don't get the likes that they think it should get or that they want it to get, or they don't get the comments or the engagement. And so by proxy, they assume that it's not working. Right.
Yes.
And so this is not a strategy that works. So they don't have that instantaneous gratification right there that says, yes, this is working. But I love what you're saying is keeping up with the times is so important, because it's, we're evolving as a culture and the way we receive information is evolving. And
yes.
So your feelings here, while I get it, video marketing might be uncomfortable, it's also irrelevant because it's what we're shifting to as a culture. So I would challenge anyone who is scared about it to just do it, because it's not as scary or as big as you're thinking it is.
Oh, 100%. And that's the beauty of it too. If anybody is new around here, if you need it, I do have a free guide on helping you. Like literally it's free. You can get it from the link in the description, message me, whatever. And I just updated it too. So it's going to have a lot more for you in there. Yeah. I jam-packed it with some value in there, because whether people want to work with me or not, I want them to have at least a hand, what do we call it? A guidebook?
Yeah, like
for a hand manual.
A handout? I don't know. Yeah. A handbook. I like it.
Yes, it's early. It's early. If you're watching the replay, we start this at 8 a.m. Pacific on Mondays. So that's why we say it's early. But anyway, you have that free guide that you can download and get info out of there. But when we're talking about video, when we're talking about platforms like TikTok, it's just important that one, you're aware. So you're here, you're listening, you're paying attention. So we can check that box. Now we need to start adding a few extra boxes to your list of things that you can check off moving forward. And part of that is understanding that you may not use TikTok the way everyone else uses it. Heck, you may not even use it at all. You may stick to Instagram and using what they call Reels, which is the short form video. It's similar to TikTok. In fact, if we're all being honest, they ripped it off from TikTok because they want to keep us there. But either way, you want to use one of those platforms and you want to embrace video, because this is where we're all at. And this is where you're going to be able to future-proof your business if you start using video. And that's why we're talking about this luxury real estate article that I was reading over the weekend, because hopefully by the end of this episode, it's going to help you have a better understanding about not only video, but remove some of those layers that are holding you down from starting, which is that perfectionism that we talk about a lot.
Totally. Well, and I think too, someone from my team once told me this, because we trade off on, which director leads each team meeting, and we all get to come and bring our own value, which is super awesome. And I was like, I don't know what to do this time. And my friend was like, why don't you talk to us about client care strategies? Like, walk us through some of that. And I'm like, all of us already know it, right? Like, we already know all that, because it's so obvious to me, right? It's the lane I live and breathe in all day, every day, much like how video marketing is for you. And so by proxy, I assume people don't care about it because either don't care or already know about it. Like, to me, it feels like a given. And so I fall into that trap of people don't care about this. People don't want me to make a TikTok about client care strategies. Like they already know all of that stuff, which is false, right? Because what comes so easy to us might not be easy to other people. Like the salesperson, it might be really easy for them to say, hey, here's how to generate new leads. That's great. And it might not be so easy for me or for Ed or whoever. And so I always think about that too when I think about sharing content. Is it's really easy to get in your head and think nobody knows this or nobody cares about this or everybody knows this. Everybody knows this or they don't care. And the truth of the matter is there's probably people out there that don't know it.
100%. And here's the thing too, is there's a lot of people that don't know it. And on top of that, even if you know it, and everyone listening can raise their hand on this, because I guarantee you're all going to relate to this. Even if you know it, hearing it again from somebody else sparks that like, yes. Right? How many times have you
so often
done something and you're like, oh, I totally know this. I know it. Yeah, that's great. And then you keep moving on. And then you realize later when you talk to someone or you hire a coach and they say the exact same thing, it could be word for word. And you're like, oh,
totally. Yes. And sometimes it clicks better with other people. Like I know my mom my mom's a banker. And so for the longest time, she tried to get like, when I was growing up, I don't know, like credit, like we would play credit games, right? And so she's trying to get me to understand credit, or she's trying to get me to understand saving or whatever. And so she would spend so much time, and then someone else would say it in a way that just clicked because they weren't my mom trying to share it. And then I'd come home and be like, Mom, can you believe this great thing I just learned about credit? And she's like, I already told you that. But the cool thing about it is sometimes just hearing it from different people helps it click in a different way. Or like you're saying, Ed, reminds you. Like this is actually one of the reasons I love TikTok, just as a consumer of the information, is because sometimes I'll be in a rut and then like say workout rut. Like I'm in a rut, I can't get out of it. And I scroll and someone will say something about, hey, just get in the gym. And you're like, it's that simple. Okay. And it reminds me, and so it's nothing brand new. It's
right.
It just reminds me in a new way, I guess.
It's so true. And there's a great example. I won't go too far off on this one because I want to make sure we stick to our luxury real estate TikTok conversation. But based off of what you were just sharing, there was a TikTok video that I saw recently where I think the gentleman was talking about how he was overweight and he was walking. He would go to the gym for, I believe, 5 minutes. He literally would just go to the gym, spend 5 minutes in there, walking on the treadmill, doing whatever, and then he would leave. And he was talking about how most would think that that is pointless because it's like you're only there for 5 minutes. What's the effort? What's the why even bother? However, he was developing his plan, his consistency. For him, getting to the gym was hard, right?
It's the hard part, yeah.
Getting to the inside of the gym and spending a few minutes to get comfortable, and I think he was doing it every day, helped him. And that's why, you see so many people doing these challenges, whether it's a 5-day challenge, a 30-day challenge. Some do just for their program. Some will do a 30-day video challenge where they're going on video every day just to get comfortable. Whatever it is, that's how we build up that consistency and that comfort, is by practicing, by getting in that habit, that routine, and being able to do that. And so anyway, that was a super powerful one when I was watching it. When it comes back to this article we were talking about is, so there's this one real estate agent that it was talking about, Brandon Tyler, and he was saying this is a quote that he shared in there, and it's pretty powerful. So I hope that you all really pay attention to this. 93% of people start the buying or selling process online. 93%. 40% of purchases are influenced by social media. 40%.
That's almost half.
Almost half. It's crazy. 70% of people use smartphones to search about the home buying process. I have to have a presence on these platforms because the numbers don't lie in terms of where consumers obtain their content. Engagement stems from relatability and curiosity. And
Totally.
that is huge, my friends. That's
I love that last sentence. Relatability.
yes. That's
That's
why
so
we
important.
see live streaming so popular. That's why we see these videos that are not highly produced do better and
Yeah,
perform better across the board because it's that relatability. It's that
totally.
authenticity that we're all looking for and that part where we can just say, I like you. You're
Yeah.
real. I can feel you. You're who I'm looking for.
Hmm. When you get a real feel, we've talked about this on the show before, but I'm a big fan of playing to your strengths. And 99% of salespeople I know are charismatic and they're um, wildly persuasive, especially in person.
Yeah.
And that's why they're in sales, right? And so anytime that you can develop a marketing strategy that allows you to be as close to face with people as possible, and I think video marketing is the only answer to that. You
Yeah.
know, maybe not the only, but it's the only one that gets you as close to face without having to tangibly be there, where you
100%.
can show people, hey, I'm a relatable human, you want to work with me, or this is a house that you would want to, this is a luxury property, let me show it off in a way that maybe you can see yourself there. Like, you naturally with video can put people into different scenarios that they might not be in. Like, I'll see TikToks all the time that are of these crazy awesome hikes, and I do some pretty cool hikes here, but I'm instantly like, I want to do that. And so now, because of TikTok alone, I have developed this lengthy hiking list. But luxury properties could be the same thing, right? Where you start seeing
100%.
yourself in that, and magically now it's a relatable concept because you've seen yourself in it so many times. So
Yeah. And here's the thing. I'm going to share about Glenda Baker, who's also very, very popular on TikTok and I'd say Instagram and everywhere because of the videos she has committed to doing. And where I'm going with Glenda is that she shared in one of her TikTok videos recently, at least I think it was recent, showed up on my For You page. But she shared how she didn't think that anything of this video situation that she was in, when she first started. She just started recording videos
totally.
and she started to blow up.
Yeah.
People were really into her. They are into her videos. They were connecting with her on a whole different level. Like, it blew her and her team away, right? And she brought up this one example where I believe she was in Atlanta. She's in Atlanta, but she was traveling to Texas and she was at a store, if I recall correctly. And this guy recognized her. And I think he was in his
Oh, wow.
20s. He had no intent of buying a home, but he recognized her and he told her how much he loved her videos and that he watches them all the time. And it just totally blew her away. Now, you may be thinking, okay, but if he's not going to buy a home anytime soon, what does Glenda care? Because
Yeah.
that's not a client that's going to help her right now. But that's not the point. Because again, we're talking about the long term here, and
Yeah.
we're talking about building relationships from day one. And this is where you better believe that when he's ready, he's going to contact her. And that when he has somebody that he knows is looking for a home, he's going to send them to her. Like,
Oh, totally.
it's this whole snowball effect. And it's so important that we realize it's bigger than just us showing up on camera. That's the
Totally.
start. It's what happens afterwards that's where the magic really starts to take place.
Well, and you never know who's in whose circle too. Like,
Mm-hmm.
this guy could be in Texas, but he could be from Atlanta.
Yeah.
His whole family and friend base is in Atlanta. So maybe he's not interested, but like you're saying, down the road, there could be all these other opportunities that I've seen agents just not disregard as if like they don't care, but just
Right.
dismiss that first, the guy in Texas example, because
Yeah.
they're like, he's not ready to buy. But
Right.
once again, this comes back to developing that long-term strategy, because when you have that long-term strategy in place, whether client care or video marketing or TikTok or whatever you're leveraging for that, having
Yeah.
that long-term strategy in place is what's going to keep filling your pipeline.
Yes.
And so playing the long game, not just the short game, because you can get leads in the now
Right.
quick, but you're going to spin a bunch of wheels. I'd rather spin a bunch of wheels in the front end
Yeah.
and let my business work for me in the back end because I had a long-term strategy in play.
And that's the beauty of what we're talking about here
Mm-hmm.
when you start to implement it in your business, is that location doesn't matter.
Yeah.
You are location independent.
Mm-hmm.
Even if you're tied to your current location right now, understand that there might be life changes that happen later and you might have to relocate. You don't have to start from scratch. You've
Nope.
built a following
Oh, and I
from
love
your
this.
video, from your
Yes.
connections. Like that's the big, big win
Mm-hmm.
here for everyone.
Or if you want to expand, I hear it all the time. Real estate agents want to expand, but they don't think about it in terms of truly expanding. What I mean by that is they just pick another city. So I'm local to Seattle right now.
Yeah.
And maybe I think I'm a real estate agent. Maybe I think I'm going to expand. And I just really love Dallas. So I'm going to expand in Dallas because it's a place I like. They don't think about it. But if you could think about it and design a network like this, then you already have a fan base or a following per se in Dallas by the time you build there, that it's like you're saying, Ed, totally irrelevant. You can
Yes.
have that fan base. And when I say fan base, I mean people who are bought into you, which is great when you're asking something from them in the, what it makes me think of? Chip and Joanna Gaines.
Yes.
Because I think they were just such down to earth people who started doing fixer uppers that everybody, if they could use them in the state of Texas, would.
Right.
Because they were, one, so relatable, but two, because of what they were doing. And while there was a big production and on TV, absolutely, but I think just quick and easy. And I was thinking about this last night too. Here's what one thing I love about TikTok
Yeah.
is you can be essentially a nobody and become a somebody like
Quick.
really quick. And I know that's true with any social media platform, but I was thinking about it because I scrolled on someone who I was like, oh, this is a singer, like he's all famous and whatever. And then I went and looked him up and I was like, oh, he's just getting started. He's just all over TikTok. So like I see him all over TikTok and I think, oh, he's big and famous and he's one of the new up and coming singers or whatever. He's like still roughing it, trying to get found, I guess, or whatever.
Yeah.
And I just thought that was so cool to think about. What an awesome world we live in where it's totally untapped. You don't have to be the number one real estate salesperson in Washington because nobody knows. So you can start, or you don't have to be the number one luxury home seller. Like nobody knows. And
that's the thing. You don't have to even have 1 million followers or 1 billion views. Like this is where you get to break those things down and understand that you have to start in order to get better at your videos, because that's a lot of what happens when I talk to people about video, is that they're like, well, I'm not good on camera, so I don't want to do any videos. And it's like, well, but if you're saying that now, what's going to happen in 3, 6, 9 months? Like you're still going to be in that same spot if you don't do anything now. I mean, when I first started, I didn't want to be on camera. I feared being on camera. But I had to force myself to get good at it because I knew that this was the future and this is where my business was going to survive if I did this video thing.
Well, and nobody expects you to be perfect on try one. Nobody, right? I think of cold calling all the time. Nobody wants to cold call. Nobody wants to just call strangers and hope that they want to buy or sell a house or buy whatever you're selling. Nobody likes that, but we do it. And we eventually build up the skill, right? Like I remember in my cold calling days, like I would eventually build up the skill where it didn't matter what you said on the other end. You can hang up on me. And so I wish people viewed live video marketing, TikTok, all the same way, because it's really just a practice thing. My first time doing video, I was so in my head about it. I thought everyone was watching and making opinions about it. And the reality is they're not. And the reality is they're probably not doing it either. And so they'll see you and you're automatically have a leg up, right? Oh gosh, she's so brave. She's doing something I could never do. Really, I'm just showing up. That's it.
And that's the beauty of it. Listen, when you start getting in front of the camera and you just go record your video, whether you're live or pre-recorded, and you share it with people, you will transform both your life and others. I'm not kidding. Like it is something that's so powerful. You have to do it in order to experience it, but it is a game changer and it will really help you and your business. and it
Totally.
allows you to connect with people on such a different level,
Mhm.
and people are going to see your video. And here's the thing, some of them may not reach out to you. I call them our secret followers. They watch us, but they don't comment, they don't like, they don't share. And every so often they'll send us a message, whether in the DMs or email or
Mhm.
call or text, whatever communication is appropriate with you. And they'll let you know, I've
Mhm.
been following you. I love your content. It's changed my world. And you're like, wow.
Why don't you ever comment or like my
Yeah.
stuff? Yeah.
And you know, we kind of had this, I know we're getting close on time, but I had this conversation actually on LinkedIn the other day inside of a group around, you know, the vanity metrics. You know, I posted this, I didn't get the numbers that I would hope for. You know, there was this whole conversation going on. But to get to the point with this is that there are these numbers that we get in our head, you know,
Mhm.
the views, the likes, the comments, the shares, whatever. And if we don't hit whatever those numbers are for that we come up with, then we get disappointed, and
Yeah.
then we feel like we shouldn't do it anymore.
Mhm.
And we really don't realize how much of an impact we do have on others. I know even for myself, I do the same thing where you
Yeah.
do get disappointed, right? When somebody doesn't comment or share or whatever, especially if it's a post that you were like, I spent some time on that. Like,
Mhm.
and this happens with videos. This has actually been going around on TikTok lately
Uh-huh.
too. People are doing just random videos where they're talking about how come the video that I spent hours and hours making perfect and putting out there
Yep.
got like 100 views, but this one that I'm sitting here in my car with my head down
Mhm.
because my video wasn't performing gets
Totally.
1,000 views or whatever. Like, it just goes to show you that across the board this happens. And so that's why I love the time that we're in, because you don't have to worry about perfectionism. You have tools that allow you to be real and
Mhm.
out there to the point as much as you want,
Totally.
and to have fun.
Yeah, that's what I think about. The one thing TikTok taught me personally is that we're all just super weird and wonderful creatures.
Yeah.
And so there's a space for it. And I love that so many of these people, like sometimes I watch these videos, like I don't really get embarrassed ever, but sometimes I watch some of these, like I could never post this on the internet. So I totally love that you are just doing your thing because I
Well,
can't.
it inspires us, right? Because I
Totally.
sent you that one TikTok video from a real estate person. We
Yeah.
won't say names, and I don't remember, but um, I believe it was a husband and wife. So here's the scenario, guys. So I saw this TikTok video, and there's a trend going on right now where I think it's Beyonce's song, or I don't know whose song it is, but anyway,
Oh, I'm the worst person to ask.
yeah, it's this whole where they do this whole, when it comes on, everyone does this drop it low. So they kind of squat down to the
Yeah.
ground, and it's like 3 or 4 times throughout this song. Anyway, this husband and wife, real estate agent couple, they, I'm guessing the wife made the husband do this because I don't think he would have done this on his own. But hey, he did it, and I'm gonna tell
Yeah.
you what he did. But he did it, and not only did I get a good laugh out of it, but I shared it with Amanda, who
Mhm.
also got a good laugh. Like, that's what we're talking about here. And so what he did was, I'm guessing she filmed him, and they were at a property, and as soon as the song played, because they were trying to stay on trend with everyone else, as soon as the song played, he had his, you know, his vest with his plaid shirt on and his jeans. When the song played, he'd squat down low. It just it was really awkward, and just probably not a trend that I would follow on that one. But
But he did
hey,
it.
he did it, and I give him points for that. He gets bonus points for that, and he had a good laugh. You could tell
Mhm.
he was enjoying it, and I'm sure they got some great feedback from people, and just people probably loved it. And so my point is that test things out, have fun, be
Yeah.
goofy, be serious, whatever works for you and your brand, but understand that it doesn't have to be perfect, and it really
Yeah.
shouldn't. Less is more,
Mhm.
and you want to make sure that you're keeping it simple.
Mhm.
and just put it out there. And that's when you'll start to see how you can make things different and switch things up. And
Totally.
that's what you get when you go with video.
Well, and I love the keeping it real to you part, because I think about this actually a lot with luxury, bringing it back to our luxury home conversation, because we think our home tours need to be so professional because they're expensive homes, right?
Yeah.
I actually saw, I don't know if it was a TikTok or a YouTube video or something, and it was this $2 million house somewhere, and the real estate agents made a wrap to it. And it was
Nice.
phenomenal. I mean, they literally, it was just the most like, most ghetto's the only word coming to mind. It was just the most ghetto production, and it was wonderful. It was so funny, and they just showed off parts of the home. I've seen another one where in luxury, it was a luxury home, totally not what you'd expect, but they had one of those inflatable dinosaur T-Rexes show off the home. And so there's so many numerous creative ways that you can still be authentic to you and show off a luxury property, because I think we often put luxury especially into a box thinking it has to be flawless. It has to look so prim and pristine because those are the buyers that want to buy it. Now, not everyone's that buyer, right? My parents were in that same price point and they're silly. My parents are so silly. And my dad would have loved a rap video. It probably would have sold him, you know, and so they don't have to be prim and proper and pristine, right? It can be goofy and still geared towards your audience. The best thing is that it's geared towards you and is authentic to you. So I love that you're saying that.
Yeah, 100%. And as we wrap up here, I did promise to share a little tip.
Oh, yeah. So lean in moment.
Yeah, I'm gonna put the type in the comments just to let you know that way people who are just browsing, they'll see the comment and they'll be like, oh, we have to actually watch this part. So if you are creating videos on TikTok and you want to share them to Instagram, please make sure that you remove the watermark. So if you don't know what I mean, TikTok puts their stamp of TikTok on your video. And when you share that to Instagram, Instagram picks that up and they don't like that.
They don't want to share it. Yeah,
exactly. So there's tons of tools out there. There's tons of like tricks that can be a little confusing to do. I'm going to give you one real simple here, and it's called qload.info. So it's Q as in Queen, load, LOAD, .info. And this is something that you can use. You can save it. It's not an app. It's just a website. You can save it to your phone as an app. And it's a place where you can go and share your TikTok link, and it will download the video to your device without the watermark. So then you can go post it on whatever other platform you want. So test that out. See how you like that. Yeah. So that's what we have for you today. Just a quick recap. Whether you're doing luxury real estate or you're just doing your business and wanting to, my camera will come back, and you want your videos to just get started. Like, it doesn't matter if it's perfectionism or not. Let's get rid of it. Let's start just increasing our video recording ability, whether that's just on your phone, you go live, you're with friends, you're on Zoom. I don't care. I want you to start embracing video and getting into that habit. Even if it's just a few minutes a day, a few minutes a week, that's all that matters. If you need help, reach out. I have that free guide that will help support you with that. If you need help with client services, care services, I should say, that's where Amanda comes into play and can help you set up those nurturing systems that are going to help you stay connected with your audience. And we also talked about the importance of staying on trend with the different platforms and understanding that it's good to at least be aware of them. Amanda, anything else that I might have missed? I know I went through that quickly.
No, I think that was great. Don't be a dinosaur. Stay up to date with the trend.
Oh, yes, please.
I guess I'll add this tidbit. When I think about on top with trends, I think about how quick, like, Facebook isn't new, and how if I go to find a business, I will go to see if you have a Facebook first. I don't even go to Google anymore. Facebook is like supreme in my head. Yeah. And I go there first, and then I see if you're posting content, because that tells me if you're still in business. Like, especially through, and that's not always an accurate gauge, right? But that, especially through COVID, I went and saw, because some restaurants were open and some were closed. And we were in this
Yep.
constant, like, are you open? Are you not? I don't know. And I would go to see if you were posting. And if you weren't posting, I wouldn't. So I think the same thing with TikTok. Eventually, we're going to hit where TikTok and Instagram Reels are the norm, and people are going to get to where they're looking for that stuff first.
Yeah.
And if you're not on trend, you're not on trend, and you're going to be behind. So I would practice now before it is totally taken over, because then you're going to be ahead of the game, because there's so many people who are trying to be a dinosaur and stay in the times that feel comfortable to them, which is fine. But you don't want to get to, say, the end of this year and everything be video marketing. And you're like, I really wish I'd started in January, or really wish I had just been willing to try, because now everybody's doing it and I have to do it to stay on trend. But now I'm extra scared of it and the pressure is there. So do yourself a favor and just try it now when it's easy and not, I mean, it's definitely prevalent, but it's not, everybody's go-to, I guess.
Yeah. And let me just say, if you find yourself at the end of February, we'll just say March 1st, and you have not started doing video, you're behind the times. I'm just going to put that out there. There's a deadline for you. I don't care.
There it is, challenge.
Yeah, I don't care who you work with. It doesn't have to be me, but get someone who's going to help support you and guide you on that journey, and make sure that you set that deadline in your calendars. March 1st is your absolute last day to not be doing video. Like, you got to get that video in and started by March 1st.
Totally. And get out of your head about it. It's not as complex as you think. And if you really need this helped me when I was posting a bunch about business stuff, is I just used to post it into a fake group so I could see how it showed up, so I could get practice of it. So I would practice going live in a group of just me, or me and my best friends. And because then it didn't feel so scary. So if it's really that defeating to you to get started, just do something like that to practice getting comfortable in front of the camera before you do it for the real audience, because you'll once again see it's not that scary. And if you get out of your head, it becomes a heck of a lot easier. So true. Do yourself a favor.
Yeah. Well, we thank all of you for tuning in. We hope that you have a great rest of your day, and we'll be back next Monday at 8 a.m. Pacific. Until next time, we will see you later, and take care.
Happy Monday.